it's a very sad day in Chicago. It's another very violent day in Chicago. The news has just dropped that apparently 4 people lost their lives and over a dozen were injured outside of a album release party for the female rapper Mello Buckzz. It's a crazy story, and there's a whole lot of activity going on Reddit right now, breaking down the situation. And the saddest part of this whole thing, it may very well be the case that those people that were targeted in this attack were actually asking for it by dissing somebody that had just been killed shortly before this all went down. So we're going to get into it. I've got some things to share with you on Reddit today, but it's absolutely crazy news coming out of Chicago. So this was going around. A dude from a set called 9-5 had been killed. A man named Drills had apparently passed away. And members from Mellow Buckzz' crew No Limit, or NLMB, the No Limit Muskegon boys, they were posting this guy Drills that passed away. And they were saying Drills died on a drill. Now this is real comedy with laughing faces. So look, this was a tense situation already. Somebody had already lost their life, and people were getting trolled. And look, I certainly wouldn't condone anything that happened. It's a massive tragedy, but sometimes when things like this are getting posted around, it's not really surprising what comes next. So there were several people from NLMB and this sort of, I guess, a younger generation of hitters from that hood called Shorty Mob dissing this guy Drills from 9-5 Mob, who had been killed yesterday morning. Quite a lot of people had gone at this guy. So we got, one post here saying, yeah, the ops been getting their asses fired up. This guy posted with the song by Lil Zay Osama over the picture of the man who passed away with laughing faces, F your dead homie ass. Like, it's very, very disrespectful. I mean, this is nothing surprising in Chicago. This is how people get down in Chicago when people lose their lives. But, this is some brutal dissing that was going on, literally just a day ago. Like, they're going hard. This guy, Baby Splat, but hope your family got money for your funeral. Skull emoji, bitch. Drill's ass got left on a drill. Laughing faces. Like, these guys were very jubilant. Like, they were really celebrating this person that passed away. This person put no GTA 6 for him. Drill's got left on a drill. Relentless. I didn't even do this, but what the hell? Were you drunk or something? Fire emojis, laughing emojis, crying emojis. It's pretty brutal, okay? So one of the most prominent and feared people from the No Limit set is Big Op, formerly known as No Limit Faro. He was dissing somebody heavy last night, apparently in reference to Drills that passed away. He popped up with putting his 2 fingers up, saying new op pack just landed, and just big diss in the ops, putting out that he was outside on 78th Street at 2:58 a.m. and just bragging and boasting and basically twisting the knife on this individual who just lost their life. It even got to the point where Mainski from No Limit was telling Big Op to stop trolling 9-5 Mob, saying, just leave it, brother, leave it on the net, bap in, I just woke up. We had Chucky from Bloodbath also dissing Drills, saying, don't mind them, y'all, they was drunk. It's not a good look considering what happened next. Whole bunch of trolling was going down. This person put bye-bye dumbass on the person that lost their life. Now, interestingly, this was just a few hours before the mass boom, boom, booming that took place, saying, you poor-ass dudes ain't did half the stuff that Buckzz did. He was bullying your stuff since he was a kid. You know that, though. We're going to see who gets the last laugh. Long live my guys. And unfortunately, it does seem like those people did get the last laugh, because what happened next was arguably much more deadly, much more serious than, losing their member that they had lost the day before. And things were looking pretty crazy. So Mellow Buckzz was essentially throwing an album release party or a mixtape release party. And she actually even posted a clip to social media where she basically said she's at the party where the shooters are at, not realizing she might have been manifesting something very negative. So this is the clip that was going around where people are saying she actually predicted what happened.
I'm gonna shoot his ass!
Now, footage would later circulate of before everything went down at Mello's release party. This is footage of everyone seemingly having a good time earlier on that night. Things were cool. Things were in a good vibe. And if you hadn't known what was going on in the streets, you might never have been able to predict that a serious tragedy was just about to happen.
Come on! Where's the shot at? Come on! Come on! Where my shot at? Yeah! Where my shot at?
Gang, no. That's blood. That's blood. That's gang. No gang. Blood. You know a whole lot of gang shit.
Now, honestly, it's very bold, even when, you know, one of your ops has just died recently, for you to be outside. I mean, could you say that this was posting the location? I mean, it's not completely obvious where they're at to me immediately, but if you know the city really well, you might be able to tell some of these buildings. You might be able to work out where this building is here. If you just see, you might be able to work out like where this was, or you might have been able to work out what block this was on, what buildings these were outside of. You know, if you're a real Chicago expert, you might be able to work out based on these windows where these guys are actually at. So it's pretty reckless stuff, really, posting things like this. And as we know, things are about to get very serious. Now, apparently somebody who was actually just driving past randomly and filming out of the sunroof of their car actually captured the sounds of the gunshots as they were fired, which is pretty crazy. I mean, the amount of footage that's coming out from this event is pretty mind-blowing. So you're about to see everything that happened from multiple angles, and it is absolutely wild.
Hey ladies, what are you doing tonight? Well, pick up the phone and call me. 866-92-SWEAT.
Oh, club, that is.
You reach me. And thanks for listening to B103 Sweat.
I believe this is the exact location where it happened. We're going to see another piece of CCTV footage. Got everyone out here kind of milling around outside, and then a car's going to pull up drive-by style and just kind of open fire on everybody that's there. And this guy doesn't actually capture the shooting as it happened, but he captures the gunshots, and then we're about to see CCTV footage of the shooting.
The Sweat Hotel. There's a beginning and there's an ending, and the end is coming real quick. And before I get up out of here, let me say this to you. I need love. I want love. I got to have love. I have a little while longer.
I need love. I got love. Duck down, baby, duck down. Hey, shoot like motherfucker, duck down.
Police, right?
Now, look, I'm by no means trying to say that this guy had anything to do with it, but that's damn near Chicago culture. He was cool, calm, and collected. When them gunshots started firing, he wasn't freaking out. Like, that's some normal Chicago activities. I would have been freaking out. I'd have been doing the dash. I'd have probably been Daryl Brooks in my way out of there. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect, but like, I would have just got the hell out of there, man. It's absolutely crazy. Now, this is actually the full CCTV footage of the shooting, if you check this out. Now, I probably can't show you this on YouTube, so I might have to blur this out. You can go check out the uncut version on my Patreon if you want to see everything put together, but like, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get a gist for everything that went down from this, okay? So imagine that car that we just saw the perspective from inside had just driven past, maybe like, we're talking a couple of seconds before this, and then everything goes absolutely crazy. So I'm just going to run this through again and give you a play-by-play. So it looks to me like the gunshots out of this car probably already started before it had actually pulled into the view of this camera. And I'm pretty sure, is this a Dunkin'? Now, I wouldn't think Mellow Buckzz will be having her album release party at a Dunkin' Donuts of all places. I would personally guess, this is just a guess, that the event was more going on next door, and the main of the group of people that were targeted were actually on the right-hand side of this, and then the shooting kind of continued into the field of view of this camera in front of the Dunkin'. And as you see, shots are getting fired out the car. You can see the muzzle flash from the side of the car. You can see people scattering and running it. And what's even more crazy is that there's actually a person that tries to run around this kind of stairwell, and they even start shooting at him when he's hiding around this corner. So if we watch this again, you're actually about to see just how crazy that ended up getting. So you can see the muzzle flashes coming out this car. They're shooting at the crowd already shooting before the footage starts. And then we essentially see everybody running this way, which obviously, unfortunately, was a very bad idea because they're actually running alongside the car, continuing along with the line of fire. And as you see, someone tries to circle around here and they end up getting hit. So the car's still shooting, and it still starts shooting over here with this individual. Crazy. So footage from the scene would circulate on Reddit. Once again, I definitely can't show you this on YouTube, but I'll give you kind of the play-by-play. But essentially, the news broke on Reddit very quickly, and it came out a mass S-word at Mellow Buckzz' album release party at Artist Lounge in Chicago late Wednesday. It led to multiple casualties. 3 people were confirmed dead at this point, and it would later rise to 4, I believe, and at least 16 were injured, nearly 19 shot in total. And somebody recorded this very gruesome video from the scene, and it's just looking like an absolute war zone. Blood all over the floors. It's just horrendous. Just a horrendous scene. So a little while after this, a breakdown of all of the victims would come out, and a lot of people on Reddit were saying that they shot a bunch of women, bro. That's super lame. And I kind of agree, man. Shooting at women is lame, but then again, I'm not justifying it, but you do have women in Chicago that are bona fide gang members. I swear I seen a video of Mellow Buckzz putting a woman through a window in a fist fight or something like that. So look, shooting women, definitely not cool. But unfortunately, there are women that are frontlining in this gang war. And, this is unfortunately the consequence of what happens when you're a female frontlining a gang war. So as this came out, it was a breakdown of all of the victims, at least at this point in time, at 5:32 a.m. 4 killed, 2 males, 2 females with fatal gunshot wounds on the 300 block of West Chicago. A dark-colored vehicle drove past. Unknown offenders opened fire into a crowd, striking 18 victims. So one of the fatalities was a 24-year-old male with a gunshot wound to the chest and was pronounced dead at hospital. There was a 25-year-old male who was actually shot in the head, passed away in hospital. An adult female was shot in the chest. She also passed away at hospital, as did another female who was also shot in the chest. And then a whole bunch of people were shot and injured and luckily survived. 24-year-old female, 25-year-old female, 21-year-old female are in critical condition, getting shot in the back, the left leg, and the mouth. A 31-year-old female was in serious condition after suffering multiple gunshot wounds. A 29-year-old male was in good condition with a gunshot wound to his left forearm. This 27-year-old female, these are all in good condition. They got hit in the right foot. A 30-year-old female got hit in the left hand. A 24-year-old female got hit in the right arm. A 25-year-old female got hit in the right thigh. A 25-year-old male got hit in the left hand and right thigh. A 32-year-old female got hit in the right thigh. 31-year-old female got hit in the left knee. 29-year-old male got hit in the right thigh. And a 29-year-old female got hit in the right shin. Honestly, it's an absolutely crazy scene. So many people getting injured. And look, we're used to seeing people get hit in Chicago. These hits, a lot of people get hurt. We recently had the murder of Manaduke, and Young'un go down. But this is one of the most grisly, packed crowds that I've seen get shot up in Chicago before. And it is pretty mind-blowing how serious these injuries were. More specifically regarding the victims, it's actually been reported that Mellow Buckzz lost her boyfriend and her best friend in this incident. So she would actually post this photo saying best friends forever, saying, damn shorty, my dog, my brother, you and Vontae was my 2 people. I'm so lost. I can't believe I lost both of you in one night. Now, it's a really sad situation. People saying she's going to hate the album. I mean, I don't agree with that. People saying she sacrificed them. I wouldn't agree with that. They're saying that girl, kid has just lost her daddy too. It's crazy. So I'm guessing Mellow Buckzz had a child with her boyfriend potentially. It's super messed up. This is another clip that was going around of the scene showing people being put into the ambulance, and I believe according to this last comment, you can actually see Mello in the right hand side of this video. Again, I probably can't show this on YouTube, but yeah, you're gonna get a gist of how bad this was. A lot of emergency responders on the scene. People seriously hurt, getting medical attention, loaded into the ambulance. It's just a complete war zone. It's just really, really tragic scene.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up, bro. Y'all good, man? Yeah, I'm good. Let's back up a little bit, all right?
I'm just trying to get on the train. I want to get on the train.
Let's go this way.
People getting emergency assistance on the scene. It's horrible.
Hell no. Hell no, man.
Mello would post again. Apparently the 2 women who were killed were Mello's closest friends, and she posted, prayers up for all my sisters. God, please wrap your arms around every last one of them. We need you. I need you. Not gonna lie, I'm effed up. Feel like everything just weighing down on me. All I can do is talk to God and pray. And it's her again posting the people she lost, saying, my heart's broken into so many pieces right now. It's unbelievable. Why is this happening to me? I can't believe you, sister. And another friend of hers, wow, what a bond to break. My heart so effing heavy. I love all of you so dearly. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So you can tell she clearly kind of blames herself a little bit for this. And it's just really unfortunate. I can't imagine how she's feeling right now. Just more pictures of her friends that passed away. Really sad. With G Herbo there was obviously probably the most famous rapper out of No Limit. Just super sad. And it wasn't just the females, it was El Pezzi. Is this El Pezzi, El Pezzi from No Limit, Muskegon Boys, who was one of the males that was shot and killed at the album release party here. And And the other man who lost his life was Vontae from apparently East End TDD. Just really, really sad. Really just unbelievable, to be honest. Like, unbelievable. And everyone's saying that this is likely retaliation for what happened with drills. Now, some people on Reddit posted Vontae's last IG story, and this is a little bit eerie if we watch this.
Man, this type of shit we put on niggas' head, man. Gaff, stop fucking playing. This before, what time it is? What time it is, y'all? Before 12, making gaffers before 12, stop fucking playing. Wait the...
So he's showing off his money. He's saying this is what we put on people's head. This is how we get people whacked. This is how we get people killed. It's really unfortunate that this is the sentiment he was putting out. And, you know, only shortly after this, he would end up losing his life too. So that was Vontae. That's actually Mellow Buckzz' boyfriend. And people were basically posting this picture that she had posted, I guess, in bed with him previously, just pointing out that, like, he basically, he's passed away, unfortunately, due to his proximity to the gang, No Limit and Mellow Buckzz in this case. So in addition to the No Limit members and affiliates that were hurt, Doo-Wop, who is actually more closely affiliated with Chief Keef and his Glow Gang collective, but he does have connections to No Limit, he was also hit in the leg, and he was seen kind of limping away from the scene, essentially. But fortunately, he did not lose his life in this situation. But again, a lot of people were kind of just, you know, surprised to even see someone like this over there. And, you know, this is somebody that, you know, arguably had gotten, at least spent a decent amount of time away from Chicago, away from the violence, spent a lot of time with Chief Keef in Los Angeles and things like that. And people said, you know, it was really unfortunate. He'd probably gone out to Chicago to, you know, to show love and show face at this album release party. And unfortunately ended up taking a bullet himself. So there's already a big Chicago Sun-Times article about this situation, and it actually said that they believed that it was a targeted attack on Mellow Buckzz' album release party. So let's go through this. And this was apparently an extremely violent couple of days in Chicago, as we kind of already know. So River North mass shooting sees 4 people killed, 14 more wounded after rapper's party. The attack happened outside a restaurant as people were leaving an album release party for Chicago rapper Mellow Buckzz. Another mass shooting happened at a club that operated from the same address in 2022. And there's a pretty crazy picture from the scene there on Chicago Sun-Times. So 4 people were fatally shot and 14 more injured Wednesday night outside of a River North restaurant in a mass shooting Mayor Brandon Johnson called senseless and cowardly. The drive-by shooting happened as crowds gathered outside an album release party at the Artist Restaurant and Lounge at 311 West Chicago Ave. A car pulled up outside as at least one gunman inside opened fire on a crowd of people around 11 p.m. Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling told reporters in a news conference with Johnson Thursday afternoon they didn't care who was struck, and in a matter of seconds they were able to shoot 18 people, taking 4 lives, and no arrests have been reported. And they've even made a video report from the scene that had a lot more.
We need more ambos out here. We don't have nearly enough.
I mean, just look at how many police and emergency medical responders are there. Like, this is a really serious incident. Like, even for Chicago standards, this is like as real as it could possibly get.
I heard a lot of gunfire, and then the next thing you know is a whole bunch of police officers driving by fast, ambulance, fire rescue. It was telling us, trying to hold the crowd, 12 people.
Yeah, traumatized. I mean, this is, I'm just shook.
The article went on to say the restaurant where the shooting occurred is the same address of a nightclub the city shut down over 2 years ago after a fatal mass shooting happened outside. The shooting happened at the end of a party celebrating the release of Chicago drill rapper Mellow Buckz's latest album, Hollyhood. A witness told the Sun-Times in an Instagram post, Mellow Buckzz said her significant other was one of the people shot in the attack and said she doesn't wish this type of pain on nobody. Police believe the target of the attack was likely the rapper herself, although she had already left the venue when the shooting erupted. A law enforcement force would say, according to a source, occupants of a black Honda Accord initially circled around the front of the club to see who was there. When the car came back around, shots were fired from it before it sped away east. Apparently, someone who was there heard at least 24 shots before several police officers rushed the scene. Handgun and rifle rounds were recovered. Several shell casings were seen inside and outside the club, which means that people probably shot back, basically, from inside the club. And it didn't seem to really do anything. Workers for the building's landlord were outside on Thursday cleaning up blood and debris. They picked up a red carpet soaked in blood and posters advertising the party. And here's an image of that red carpet being rolled away. Very, very, very sad. Roger Tanner was passing the scene in a cab when he saw a cop carrying a young woman covered in blood over his shoulders. She was shot and he was rushing her to a waiting ambulance. It was a chaotic scene. It was like so many young people. I thought they were having fun, and it seems like a nice place. At a news conference, Snelling said that the incident was isolated and that the space was rented out specifically for the event. He said he couldn't speak to the culture of the event and said the venue had already been closed as they continue their investigation. You know, it's pretty sad. You know, we've got the victims here. It's just kind of going over what we already said about people passing away. Apparently there were several people sat outside the Stroger Hospital emergency entrance Thursday morning, some discussing how they raced to the hospital at the news of the shooting, but they declined to speak with reporters. It's just super, super sad. I mean, it's just a mess. Now, this is more footage from the scene. I probably can't show you this on YouTube, but let's just take a look.
Down, y'all. Oh my God, they just pulling bodies out of there. Y'all, it was just a fucking drive-by.
I can't say we don't do.
There's even more footage here from the aftermath that's looking pretty grisly. We've got blood on the ground, slides on the ground. It just looks horrible. It looks like a war zone, for real. We've got some overhead footage from the scene here, just showing how many cop cars were there shutting down the street after this all happened. It's just looking absolutely crazy. This looks like kind of after the scene was a bit more contained, but just really, really sad people getting carried out. It just looks awful. So a lot of people from the Chicago scene reacted. We got 600 Breezy who posted saying, "You shot all of them girls. Dudes are bitches for real. Get out the car and get up your target. Innocent women and kids. Ain't no points. You're flats. But you dudes ain't have no structure or big homies, so you're born goofies with no guidance, and you're going to die the same goofy you been your whole life." Meanwhile, some of the people that were involved in the other side, in the war with No Limit, Pocket Town, one of their members actually posted messages with Mello's boyfriend, Vontae, just basically disrespecting him and posting that they had had a back and forth back in the day, saying, "Damn, blood, don't cry now." You know what I'm saying? This guy had said to him, "Don't cry," and was kind of applying pressure to him, saying, "Don't crash while you're crying," making fun of him and saying he's safe. But he's saying, "Don't cry now that he's dead." You know, he's making fun of his dead ops. This is, you know, your normal thing in Chicago, but trust me, this is only going to lead to more violence. So other people from the sets 808 and Pocket Town were screaming big drills, apparently kind of as a way of basically showing love to the guy that passed away before this, and essentially to send a message that, you know, as far as they're concerned, they kind of got revenge for that. Other posts on Reddit had people saying that this must have been get back from Pocket Town. People are kind of speculating it. People are saying Pocket Town is cool with 9-5 mob members that come from Pocket Town, and they're cool with 9-5s, so it will make sense with big drills getting passed away. A lot of people were saying that Fatso particularly was kind of going a little bit crazy, acting a little bit reckless off this, and this clip was going around, which was allegedly him making fun of Mellow Buckzz after the situation.
That ass, you think this shit a game? Cool.
Most shit happen too, though. If you know, you know. After that, though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, tell that
He's saying, more, if you know, you know, more stuff happened after that. So he's acting very reckless.
redhead bitch who always following behind No Limit. You trolling, bitch, that ain't in your hood. But go check on them, though, you goofy ass little boy. You know who I'm talking to. You want to be in comments and shit. You a bitch, little boy. You ain't did shit either. He a hoe.
I can't wait to catch him again. I'm beating his ass.
Damn, I was just gonna show you something. I can't even find it now. I know what I went on.
Another person called Lil Benji from 9-5 Mob posted big drills, essentially just once again saying, you know, they got back, right? And people in the comments, they were saying everyone was laughing yesterday and now they're crying today. This life thing is crazy. I mean, that's what it's like in Chicago. You're laughing one day, laugh now, cry later. I mean, that was the famous Lil Durk lyric. Now, unsurprisingly, a lot of people on Reddit were saying these shooters are cooked. The shooters are done for. This shooting is getting too much traction and media attention. It was on the Shade Room. It's on Complex, Instagram. That's big. The term mass shooting alone is about to get these dudes cooked. Watch and see. People are saying it got posted in r/news and is going viral too. This is the most viral shooting that's happened in Chicago in a very long time. People are saying 9-5, YFG, and Risky Road are going to catch the RICO out of this. But other people are saying it's got nothing to do with any of them gangs. People are saying, yeah, Pocket Town too. But look. Who knows? Who knows exactly who's responsible? All I know is that No Limit, Muskegon boys have a lot of ops, a lot of issues, whether it's Pocket Town, whether it's Blackgate, you Shorty Mob, all of these crews that have had this crazy beef over the years, it's pretty serious. People on Reddit were also saying the federales are most definitely working around the clock on this. If I were the killers, I would move to Portland to get a fresh start. Now, this is what they're saying. All they have to do is find a camera on one of them buildings plus phone data, and it's over. If the Chicago police wanted to, they could have picked them up in hours. The feds definitely need this one, though. 18 people, that's white boy numbers. And what they're basically saying is like, it's a rare occurrence, yeah, in the hoods, in the African-American dominated hoods of Southside Chicago, that somebody would actually kill this many people. He's saying this shooting is up there with white boys that shoot up the schools, school shooters, people that go on these rampages. And unfortunately, that's the case. You know, some of these guys get glorified incorrectly for what they do, and it's definitely nothing to glorify. It's definitely very sad, whether you're black, whether you're white. Any mass casualty event is absolutely just not acceptable. And it just can't be condoned. Guys that are claiming this and claiming that this was a great thing that they did, it's going to be a tough day when the feds catch up with you. Not everyone sees it that way, however. Some people are kind of saying that, you know, maybe it was a little bit deserved considering how the gang was behaving. So this post says, all that shot them girls talk is cope for these dudes. Y'all was just living it up, laughing at drills. Now a couple of members dead, members shot, and a lot of women that was with them in the crowds got shot too. The No Limits are known for hitting actual innocents. Dudes get shot every day. I mean, a lot of people are debating basically like whether it's cool to hit women or kids. Now, it's never cool to hit women or kids, but what people are sort of saying in this occasion is that it's like some of these women in the crowd, according to these guys, were part of the gang war. I mean, Mellow Buckzz was a female, and she was seemingly frontlining, at least in the music, apparently in the streets. A lot of crazy stuff going on. And again, absolute tragedy. Couldn't wish this on my worst enemy. But unfortunately, this is the most extreme consequence that can actually come out of this lifestyle. It's really sad, but, you know, being around actual gangs, repping gangs, dissing ops, smoking ops in your music, unfortunately, that energy comes back around. You know, you put that out into the universe and you manifest more of that energy, and it's just tragic. Now, earlier on when Fatso and his friend were actually talking about essentially like, yeah, something else happened. And now, look, apparently there was another shooting that happened, right? So check this out. This is in the Chicago, on CBS News Chicago. Okay, they were saying 2 deadly shootings reported on Chicago's South Side overnight. So there are apparently 2 more. I don't know if this is 2 more deadly shootings in the South Side. Now, if you know No Limit, they're 79th, all right? That was a whole 79th in Essex. That, you know what I'm saying? They be talking about No Limit's hood in that area. Now, I'm not saying that this was necessarily related, but according to some people, things happened afterwards. And, you know, I'm not necessarily thinking that a 56-year-old man who got shot had something to do with this, but Chicago police are investigating 2 more deadly shootings on the South Side overnight. The first shooting was reported around 10:30 p.m. at 103rd Place in Langley Avenue near the Little Calumet River. Chicago police also said that a 29-year-old man was shot walking on the sidewalk. He was taken to a local hospital where he passed away. And then just 3 hours later in South Chicago, police said a 56-year-old man was found unresponsive in the front yard of the 7800 block of South Merrill. And there was more footage around of YFG Fatso apparently going fed, and in this video he seems to reference Lil Jeff, and basically, you know, I'm not necessarily suggesting that he's claiming the murder himself, but he's definitely happy about it, and he's trolling, and he's kind of making reference to Lil Jeff's kind of classic interview about when he killed 2 of his ops, and it's pretty wild. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a Fed case is coming after this.
Yeah, I went black for like, he say 2 weeks, for like 30, 45 more minutes at the big G. Don't drop no album, bitch. Keep that weak ass shit. Hey, weak ass cover art, bitch. All inheritance with that weak ass shit, bitch. Keep that shit. Don't drop that weak ass album, bitch. You fucking up the music. We don't want to keep shaking. Nobody want to keep shaking our ass, bitch. Keep that shit. You didn't go legit, bitch. You ain't go legit. Nobody went legit except for you know who. You ain't go legit, bitch. I'm on that. And when it's back on our side, I ain't crying. When they come back on our side, I ain't crying. We just scoring back, bitch.
I mean, that really just goes to show you kind of like how crazy this mindset is, right? He's outright saying, look, when they slide back, I ain't crying. When you inevitably kill one of my friends in this ongoing gang war, I'm not going to cry about it. I mean, honestly, it is a slightly immature way of thinking about things, because you will cry. I mean, when they slide back and one of your friends passes away, even if you've experienced that before, it's going to hurt. And really, the only way to stop this cycle of violence is to, somebody's got to step in, put the guns down, or unfortunately, I know a lot of street guys are going to hate to hear this, but we might have to lock a few of you up. If you're mass shooting outside of an album release party and 4 people are dying, I'm going to need you in cuffs forever, basically, unfortunately.
Ain't no crime. Drill the fuck up. Ain't no crime. Go get in that car and spin, nigga. Fuck you talking about. My man's checked, I ain't cry. Before them check, I ain't cry. We held our breath. Drill the fuck up, bitch. Hold your...
There were more people from the set Bloodbath that were laughing about this. We saw this from Action Savage, put them out with a smoking emoji and him crying blood. Not really surprising. People are saying they must be dissing their ops whose block got hit this morning. But apparently that's not Bloodbath's block. The people are saying it's got to be about drills. So maybe this was a kind of celebration of what happened before. But yeah, the social media is absolutely popping today. Everybody seems to want to have their say about this gruesome murder that happened. And it's just relentless. And there was just a whole bunch more disrespect from different gangs that were basically, from 9-5 Mob, who had lost their friend recently. They had basically just all over social media celebrating. They're saying, we pop dudes for trolling. We don't play like that. This 9-5 member said, that stuff's funny as hell. Now look, everybody getting hit, tripping and falling, and some more stuff. Members from No Limits, long-running ops, Pocket Town were also trolling. So this one came up. This guy basically said, I don't know who I want to smoke first. Who went on to say, prayers going out to them young ladies. F dude nem on my dead homie. Dudes was doing all of that trolling like they can't get touched. And after the shooting, multiple Pocket Town members would post their fallen friend Big Mex, with a lot of people believing that this meant that maybe No Limit and some of the guys that were there might have had something to do with the death of Big Mex. People was posting, long live Mex, long live Mex. And that kind of like resurfaced old stuff of like, this is Big Op from No Limit saying he's tired of violence in Chicago after one of his ops, Big Mex, got hit. So he's trolling here. He don't really mean this, right? But he's posting one of their famous ops, Mex getting killed. And he's saying, oh, I hate Chicago. It's so dangerous, with 2 laughing faces and 2 side-eye faces. So there's more members of Risky Road that were trolling after this as well. Risky Bands posted, everybody still laughing, long live drills. And then people are arguing in the comments saying, you just hit a bunch of females, and where were you? You hit a grandma and a mother, all of this type of thing. Risky Bands would basically go on to say that the 4th of July is cancelled, and that if you're smart, you will not be outside on the 4th of July, which I imagine with all the fireworks going on would be a pretty dangerous night if you're worried about anything popping off, whether it's fireworks or gunfire. People probably using fireworks to basically shoot people up without people even realizing, thinking it's fireworks. It's not a good look, basically. And he was just continuing to troll, posting lyrics, referencing murder, referencing killing ops, and just sending a message. No Limit members would clap back to this. Drench Gang Varo would post, I'ma cry today, but they're going to cry forever on Reshawn. Essentially promising to get revenge and promising to wage gang war with their ops forever. This is a never-ending cycle, and it's just really sad to see this. I mean, where does it end? At the end of the day, this is just a really tragic situation, okay? I think that the gang wars in Chicago, they've been out of control. They've been out of control for decades. There really isn't anything that I can say as far as like, stop the violence, things need to get better. Things are not going to get better after this. This could well be a sort of a real high point for the violence. I can't imagine that the feds are going to allow something like this to slide. You saw what happened when FBG Duck got murdered downtown. Yeah, maybe the killers had a little year and a half to kind of run riot in the streets and get away with it and slide and not really have any consequences, but the feds do come and get you. And look, I know people hate hearing this from me. Same thing with Lil Durk. It's all fun and games until you allegedly catch your op, kill his cousin by accident, make a bunch of songs about it, rapping about, no, but the feds are right behind. I don't think Lil Durk's getting out of that situation. Maybe, who knows, maybe he will beat the feds. Maybe he's Diddy Part 2 and he's actually going to beat the Rico. But realistically, it's just not looking good. And this is probably one of the most violent incidents. Not only did it lead to 4 people losing their lives, bear in mind, like, think of the murder of Duck. That's just one person, and not to diminish the value of the loss of life. I mean, rest in peace to Duck. Rest in peace to everybody who'd been killed in these circumstances. Little Pab, all of these kinds of things. But like, 4 people got killed, a bunch of innocents got hit. You turned the city, what's supposed to be a nice little part of the city, into an absolute war zone. So anybody that's involved in this, you're cooked. We've already got the CCTV footage circulating online, million clips from the scene. Everybody's claiming the body online. Everybody's cooked. So rest in peace to the fallen. Absolutely don't condone or encourage this kind of lifestyle. It needs to stop. It's a never-ending cycle of violence. And trust me, things get better. Things get worse before they get better. And I think in this case, things are unfortunately going to get a lot worse. I think Chicago is going to be in a very bad state for the rest of the year, at least. It's going to be a hot summer, and I wish everybody all the best. Stay safe out there. Rest in peace to the fallen. And yeah, I'll keep you updated on this story as it develops. I know it is going to develop, and I just hope that there isn't any more unnecessary, or even necessary. I don't want to see any more loss of life. I would like to see everyone go to jail and still be alive. That's the ideal scenario, realistically. That's the best that we can hope for. But let me know what you thought of that one. Really tragic situation. I hope everybody involved is recovering okay, and I'll keep you posted on any updates. But thank you for tapping in and watching this update. God bless.